Bismillah and Assalamu alaikum to all of you. My name is Sana Kausar and I'm your teacher. I'm your maths teacher. First of all, tell me how are you all? How you are spending your vacations? And don't forget to comment me about your experience of lecture number 1 and lecture number 2. And I know that most of my students has already done that work in their workbook because you guys had attended the classes with me. But as I told you previously that I want you all to please revise the concept on the rough sheet. So I'm sure that you guys are doing the practice on the on the loose sheets or rough paper or rough notebook. Okay, today's lecture is lecture number 3, and this is again from the chapter number 1 and the workbook 3A as it mentioned. So without wasting the time, students, let's start our first topic of the day. Okay, yes. This is a worksheet number 3 from your workbook 3A. Actually, I downloaded it as it is for my students to understand the concept well, and after watching this video you will be able to complete the work by yourself because this page is something that I'm explaining you all, and then you can easily do it by yourself. So the topic name is comparing and ordering the number. Comparing means, my students, comparing is something that you need to understand first, that when you are going to do the comparison of the two numbers, it's called comparing. And when you are ordering the numbers, ordering means you are going to put them in a proper sequence, in a proper order. So basically, these they are two different things, but they are interrelated. Interrelated means you can't order the number until you will compare them first. So that's why this topic is called comparing and ordering the numbers. First you need to compare and then you can order the number. Okay, let us first read the question as we always do. Compare and fill in the blanks. So the question that is given in your workbook is that first of all you are going to compare the number and then you will fill the blanks which are given. So let's read the question number 1, which is A. Raju has 196 stamps and Anne has 206 stamps. So the question that they have given you is that who has more stamps? So the comparison is to find out that which child has more stamps. I'm sure my grade 3 students are very smart, and without even going through the process that I'm explaining below, mm, you can tell me, ma'am, this child has more stamps. But students, when some proper instructions are given, before going to tell the answer, you need to follow the proper steps which are mentioned in your workbook. And these steps, this box of comparison will help you a lot when you will solve the numbers or when you will compare and order the number in thousands and so on in a bigger number. So what they did in the workbook, they give you two boxes which are mentioned, two students or names are mentioned over here. You can say they're not students. You can say that they are the name of the children too. I'm calling them students because right now I just feel that my students are right in front of my eyes. So actually they mention a box over here and the places are mentioned of each number, that is ones, tens and hundred. Then they put the value of Raju over here, that his stamps number were 196. And then they put the value of Anne stamps, that is 206. Yes, they have already put the value of these two student stamps, and then they are asking you to fill the blank. Okay, the first blank that I solved that is that dash 100 is greater than dash 100. They are actually asking only about the hundreds, not about tens, not about ones. Their main question is only about the hundreds. So which hundred is greater? You will write down 200 is greater than 100. The next blank is given, dash is greater than dash. So over here, you are now going to mention the full value of each stems. You are not supposed to write down 200 is greater than 100. No, you are going to mention over here 206 stems is greater than 196. Yes, we're going to mention the full stems number over here. And the last line that we give you is that dash has more stems. Now they're asking about the name of the child. That is, Anne has more stems. I just remember sometimes students did the mistake. They just mentioned without reading the question carefully. They just put the number over here. 2006 has more stems. If you read the statement again, that would be wrong. You are going to mention the name of the child over here. That is, Anne has more stems. Okay, now let's move to the its part B. That is, a book cost rupees 4,325 in shop A and rupees 4,315 in shop E. In which shop is the book cheaper? The main idea of this question is that the book is the same, but it has two costs in the two different shops. So they are asking you that mention us or tell them which shop has a less price of a book. So again, the block is mentioned, and in this example, you will understand that this block is really helpful when you mention the place value. In the first shop A, value is mentioned, that is 4,325, and for shop B, the price is again mentioned as it was mentioned above. Same price is mentioned over here, 4,315. Now you will understand that, students, look at this arrows pointer, that the thousand value is same, 4,000, 4,000. So you need to move on to the next value, that is 100, 300, 300. So over here we got the same value again, so we need to check the place value at the 10th place. Yes, that is our box where the values are different, 2 and 1. So they are basically asking about S value. So you quickly understand that dash 10 is smaller than dash 10. So you are going to put the value over here. 110 is smaller than 210. Dash is smaller than dash. Okay, at this point, you are going to put the value over here. So let me just write it for you all. You are going to mention the value of the less shop, that is 4,315 is smaller than 4,325. Okay, friends, don't laugh on my dirty handwriting, because I know that you guys must be start laughing on me. But I'm using a pointer pencil, which is very difficult for me to write with the help of a mouse. but I'm sure that when my all the dear students will fill their workbook, they will surely write it very neatly. So now you have put the value over here in this block. So after writing it, you guys know the answer that this book is cheap in shop tag. Okay, I know that my students know the answers by themselves. So I think I am going to skip this part. You are going to solve it by yourself. Okay, easy? Okay, I'm sure that you all understand it. Well, let's move to the next slide. Okay, I got this. I need to erase this first because it's just like a whiteboard. And let's start this topic. Okay. This topic is something that is basically specifically about comparing the numbers. And I'm sure that if you can compare the numbers, then you can easily solve the remaining worksheets of the remaining work that I'm going to mention today. So let's first compare the numbers. Two numbers are mentioned over here. And as I explained you in the classroom that their place values matters a lot. So first read the number 6048 and the second number is 6804. So let's move to the first one. Dash is greater than dash. There are two numbers and tell me, you guys tell me which is the greater number. Okay, now that my students know that answer. Okay, 6804 is greater, so you write it over here. And the next value is definitely the smaller than this, so you are going to write it over here. 6048 is smaller number. Next, they change the middle sentence. That is, first they were asking about write down the greater number at the first place, and now they're asking you that dash is smaller than dash. So now you're going to change the value of the number over here. Now the smaller value will come at the first place. 6048 is smaller than 6804. I'm sure that you guys understand it very well because this part A was very easy because you are going to compare only two numbers over here. But the part B is not very much difficult at all for my students. I'm sure you all are very smart kids, but you need to be just be careful when you're solving it. And this question is very interesting in the sense that they put the same digits in every number, but in every box, but their places are changed. What I'm trying to say? I am trying to say that only 3910, these four digits are used in this box and in this box, but their places are changed. Let's read the number 3910, 3901, and over here 3091. So actually, they are just checking your skills that whether you understand this concept of comparing the number or not. So let's compare the numbers. The first question is dash is the greatest. They are talking about the greatest number in these three boxes of numbers. So let's compare it. 3, 3, 3. All the three are at the thousands place. We need to move on to the hundred place. 9, 9, 0. Okay. Now this is not, that this is the smaller value. They are 9 and 9 and it has 0. So leave this box for a while. Now let's compare these two numbers. 1, 0. Yes. Now just tell me that which is the greatest value. Yes, this is the greatest value. 3910 is the greatest value in these three numbers. So just let's write it. 3910 10. Don't laugh on my handwriting, my students. I told you. I told you. Okay, the number which we left previously, that it has a smallest value. So I'm sure that you guys have figured out that this is the smallest value in these three boxes. So let's mention it over here, 3091. Yes, I did it. So you are okay. Okay, let me erase the board and move to the next slide first. Yes, let me just erase the board. Yes, let me just erase the number. Okay. There's no word mentioned on the stage, my students, but why I want you all, for my dear students, to understand this concept. I'm sure you have done the same concept in the grade 2, where you learn that how to arrange the number from smallest to greatest. But the basic idea of this slide is that you guys understand this thing: ascending order. What is it pronounced? Ascending order. Ascending order means arrange the number from smallest to largest or greatest. Largest and greatest has the same meaning. So whenever you saw this name or this terminology in any question that arrange the number in ascending order, you are supposed to uh, arrange the number from smallest to the greatest number. And as you can see in this picture, 1 is the smallest, then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then so on. So ascending means arrange the number from smallest to greatest. Let's move to the next slide. Yes, arrange the number from greatest to smallest. Now they actually swap the concept. First they said smallest to greatest, and now they are saying greatest to smallest. But its name is called descending order. B is the word that is also used in down. So whenever you saw the word descending, you just quickly just understand that descending means is referring the word something that is moving down. So descending orders means arrange the number from downward side. So it means arrange the number from largest to smallest. And as you can see in the picture, 4 is the largest number in it, then 3, then 2, and 1. So after understanding this terminology of arranging number in ascending and descending order, we are going to move to the next slide. Okay, don't get bored, my students. I found a very interesting worksheet for you all in the end, and I'm sure that all of my students can easily do it. Okay, this is the worksheet that I also copied from your workbook, so my students can easily solve it at their home without any problem. And as this concern of me, I will explain only a example in this lecture, and the B is the something that you will always solve by yourself. So let's start it. Let's read the number first. 6,781. Let's read the second number. 6,871. Okay, the same number they are using, same digits they are actually using. Let's read the last number. 6,718. Okay, I'm sure all of my smart students can easily figure out that which is the greatest number in it. You guys know the answer? Yes, I'm sure that you all know the answer, that which is the greatest number, but let's start comparing it. First place, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. So they all are same. 700, 800, 700. So at this point, even you can identify that which is the greatest number. It is 6,781 and it's 6,871. So which is the greatest value in it? Yes, I'm sure that it's the greatest value. So you are going to write it over here, 6,871. Yes, that's very good. And now we need to compare the two remaining number that which is the smallest in it. Okay, 6,000, 6,000, 700, 700, 81, and it's 18. So which is the smallest number? Yes, I'm sure that you know that this is the smallest number. So let's write it over here. 6,718. Yes, that's very, very good, very good. As I told you, okay, the part B is something that is your task that my students will solve by themselves. So I am not explaining it in this lecture, and I'm sure that you all can easily solve it in the same pattern that as I explained in the part A. So let's move to the next example. Okay, let me first raise the board because there is still something written over here, so I need to first clean the board. And yes, let's read the question first. Okay, arrange these numbers in order, start from greatest. This is the same picture that I have uh, downloaded from your workbook to make you understand it well. And I explain you that what is the name of the process when we arrange the number from greatest to smallest. Greatest to smallest means you are going to arrange the number in descending order. So try to understand the name as well and learn it that what is the descending means that I explained and what is the descending means. So let's start comparing the number that which is the greatest number in this string. Let's read it. Let's compare it. 1265. Okay. 2651. Okay. So this is the first place value is bigger one. Look at this. This 2 is bigger than 1. So this is the greatest value I think in 2. Let's move compare it with the third one. It's 1562. Okay, again, this is the base value because it has 1000 and this its place value is starting from the 2000. Let's compare this and this to find out the greatest number. 2651, 2516. So students, which is the greatest value? Okay, I'm sure that my students know the answer. It's 2,651. Okay, as we are moving downward after this, which is the greatest value over here? That is 2,516. So you are going to mention this number at the second place because it's greater than the rest of the values. 2,516. Okay. Now, before writing anything, now you need to compare the rest of the two values. That is this one, 1,265, and that is 1,562. So which is the greatest value? I'm sure that my students know the answer. That is 1,562. Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, what is the value that is left over here? So it will come in the last. 1,265. and it the numbers will be same, only you will change its places if the questions change. That start the question, start arrange the numbers from smallest to greatest. So this number will come at the first place, this will go on the second, and then they will come on the third and fourth. So we'll change their places. Let's move to the next example. The next example is something, my students, that you all are going to solve by yourself, but I will just explain you. Let's read the number. 8,045. The next value is not in thousand, that is in hundred. So read it carefully. That is 800 and 854. Did you notice, students, that in this number the value starts from 100 and the rest of the values are mentioned in thousand? The students know that which is the smallest value in it. This is the smallest value in it, because rest of the three values have thousands and this is the only value which has hundreds. So just keep in your mind that, and be very careful when you're arranging the number, that don't read it wrongly, that it might be considered 1,000. So that would be totally wrong. Its value starts in 100, 854. Let's read the third value, 4,580, 4,805. So let's check the first place value, 8. This is the smallest value. I told you there is a no thousands in it. 4, 4. So which is the biggest value in it? This one. Yeah. So you are going to mention it at the first place, that is 8,045. So rest of the values you will compare by yourself. I'm not going to solve it for you, but I just did the first step for you all to make it easy for you and to understand this concept, that this is the value that is the tricky in it, that don't read it wrongly. It's not in thousands, it's in hundreds. So read the number carefully. Okay, let's move to the next very easy examples, and then I will play a very nice video for you all. Let me first erase the bird because my writing is still there on the board. So let me just raise it in a second. It will just take me a second to raise it. Okay, it's raised. In this question, they ask you draw the lines to connect the numbers in order, starting with the smallest number. You are going to compare the numbers and then you will match them according to the value. How? Let me explain you. They are saying arrange the number from the smallest values. Arrange it. 2,000, 4,000, 4,000, 5,000. So when we check their first place value of thousand, this is the smallest one. So you are going to write 1 over here. It's 1. It will come at the 1 place. Now check the rest of the values. That is 4,000, 4,000, 5,000. So these two values have a same thousand. So I'm going to check the value at the place of 100. 4,218. 4,518. So which is the smallest in it? B. Yes. So I'm going to mention 2 over here. Yes, it's the smallest. Now which was the next smallest? That is number 3. And this is the one that is the greatest one. It will come in the last. So we are going to give it a value of number 4. Now compare these 4 values. Which is the smallest one? Let's check their value at the thousand place. 2,000, 2,000, 5,000, 5,000. So let's compare the 2,000 values in the hundred place. 2,743, 2,745. Okay, the digits change only in the last, that it has 5 and it has 3. So which is smallest in it? This one. So I'm going to giving it a number 1. This will be number 2. Let me just raise this box to look at the number carefully. So let's find out the next smallest number in it. 5,030, 5,028. So which is the smallest number in it? 28. So we are going to give it number 3. And this is the number 4. Now we are going to match 1 with 1, 2 with 2, 3 with 3, and 4 with 4. Easy? Yes, that's a very interesting paragraph for that. You are going to arrange it and then you're matching it. At the end, they're asking you that which letter has the greatest value. So I'm sure that you already know it, which is the greatest value. I'm not going to solve it for you. You are going to figure it out by yourself. And if you have any confusion or problem, then we can discuss it. Okay, let's watch a video because this video is very interesting. I'm sure that my students just love this one because it's something that's very easy, easy in the sense this video makes your work a bit easy, and this is what I'm trying to say. So let's watch the video.
Hello, kids. I am Buzzy the bee. Today, let us learn to compare 4-digit numbers with Buzzy the bee. Hello, kids. I am Buzzy the bee. I will teach you how to compare numbers. To compare 2 or more 4-digit numbers, we first look at the thousands place, then the hundreds place, then the tens place, and lastly, the ones place. Let us understand with an example. Look at the numbers 3,672 and 3,843 on the flowers. We begin by comparing the digits in the thousands place, that is 3 and 3. The digits are the same here. So now we compare the digits in the hundreds place, that is 6 and 8. The digits are different here. Here 6 is smaller than 8. So the number 3,672 is smaller than the number 3,843. You already know the open side of the sign always points towards the greater number. The closed side of the sign always points towards the smaller number. Let us try one more example. Look at the numbers 2,318 and 2,314 on the flowers. Both the numbers have 2 in the thousands place. So, we compare the digits in the hundreds place. Both the numbers have 3 in the hundreds place. So, we compare the digits in the tens place. Both the numbers have 1 in the tens place. So, now we compare the digits in the ones place, that is 8 and 4. Here, 8 is greater than 4. Thus, we say 2318 is greater than 2314. Kids, it is easy, but do it carefully. Bye.
So that's video of the day, students, and that's the assignment of the day, that you are going to complete your workbook 3A, page number 9 till 12. Till the next lecture, bye bye, take care.